Bob Augustine, Fairfield. Mr. Himes, I can assure you there are a large swath of your constituents in this district who believe the political class in this country has driven the country into bankruptcy from the continuation of expansion of the entitlement programs to purchase the votes and stay in office. And that is the reality. Some here will not believe that that's the reality. We are bankrupt. Now, we hired, and for my rough count would be, in the 10 budget, you voted immediately as you got in there for $1.6 trillion in additional public debt. The next budget was 1.4. That's $3 trillion in debt. For stimulus, $1 trillion. And if you want to throw in $1 trillion for the health care bill, you're up to maybe $4 trillion. Now, if you put that into dollars, say that would be $40 of new public debt, and you're proposing to knock 70 cents off it with your $70 billion. So that isn't going to go at it. And then you stand here and you say to us that you want suggestions for how to cut those entitlements to come from us. We sent a new congressman down there that hadn't drunk the Potomac Kool-Aid, and we expected he would do that. But you jumped right in and you continued to vote for the deficit spending. I do not know how you can come here and do this.
Talking about, and by the way, David here, and David, I'm going to invite you to disagree with me on this, but you know, David has been clear about when he believes, and David is apolitical, he's independent, we should start significantly cutting the budget. I actually talked to David about how aggressive we should have been in stimulating, but I've talked a lot about that today. When you were on the verge of a Great Depression that will crush Americans, you'd probably do some deficit spending.
You try to sell out.
All right, all right.
You could have gone down there and you could have not voted for the budget, and you could have said we have to address the entitlements because the country's broke. Anybody with a math book knows it. We sent the new congressman down there, you immediately went into the same time.
We absolutely, I'm standing here at the end of a long presentation where we've all agreed that we need to address entitlements, but just to give you a feel for how hard this is to do, I've been keeping track of the actual suggestions that have been made tonight about where we do it, and I've heard one, which was the Department of Agriculture, which is a general suggestion. Now I've heard two.
Joe Kramer, Norwalk. A couple observations. First of all, there's a gentleman here that made a comment about the government spending money like a drunken sailor. I have to disagree. When a drunken sailor runs out of money, he stops spending. Another observation, I appreciate the PowerPoint presentation. It was very, very good. Common sense. I think a lot of us here already know that you can't spend money that you don't have. It's common sense. But I appreciate you coming in to do that. A couple quick observations. Actions speak louder than words. You voted for the stimulus package, spent money. You voted for all the bailouts. You voted for...
No, I did not.
You voted for what you call health care reform. In reality, it's health care insurance reform. Did nothing to keep down health care costs. Another observation. You know what a budget is, right? When you go home, you know what you're spending, your wife has a budget and whatnot. How can you guys stand here and in that club you call Congress and operate this government without a budget? It blows me away. There's a program on the internet that shows how people vote. Actions speak louder than words.